streaming on YouTube also live. Um, okay, so Ajay, can you please begin?
Yeah, thank you, Suparna. Hello everyone. Good morning to everyone, and good evening wherever you are. And welcome back to the 2026 edition of the Data Days. And what is- one second. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, Suparna, could you please give your introduction?
Yeah, hi, hello everyone. Most of you know me. So my name is Suparna Babu. So I am a creator of this Microsoft Next Gen Data Aspirants community. Currently, I am working as a data engineering specialist in one Indian MNC. So also I am active Microsoft Fabric community super user, and I am a blogger, and I will make videos on the technical content. So that's all from my side.
Yeah. Thank you, Suparna. So I know everyone. So my name is Ajay Babu Intore. I'm co-creator of this NDAC community, and I'm also as a Microsoft Fabric community super user and blogger. And I'm working as a senior BA analyst in one of the MNC company. And these are my wonderful team. So if you want to connect with our team members, you can connect with the same name in the LinkedIn. And 2026 Data Days event sponsor is KSR Data Vision, and our title sponsor Microsoft. So these are the guidelines for the throughout the for the entire day, sessions. So be on mute throughout the session, and whenever you have any question, be respectful and respect others this as well. And if you have any question, just please post in the chat, and our moderators will try to answer the questions. And still, if it has a good question, then our speakers would take up those questions. Yeah, and please wait for the end of the session. So we will share we will roll up a survey form so that you can get the participation certificate, and also our speakers will explain like how do you get the certification voucher.
Yeah.
Suparna,
Okay.
is
Thank you.
Santosh joined?
Yes, yes, he's joined already. Thank you. Just a
Yeah.
heads up. So please wait till end of the session. You are going to get a participation certificate, and as well as I am going to walk you through how you can apply for the 100% free voucher, everything. So now, without further delay, let's welcome Santosh. Santosh, now the floor is yours.
Hey, hi,
Welcome,
thank you.
Santosh.
Thank you. So am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
Santosh.
thank you, Ajay, and thank you, Suparna. And as we have discussed about this next 4 hours, we're going to discuss about the four parts of the certification, and the certification is DP 600. And personal advice, nowadays the companies are asking for certifications, and I myself has been also forced to do certifications. There is no exception in this current AI world. So let's try to understand how this certification works and what are the things that you need to focus. Okay. And another suggestion, just don't go blindly with dumps, just reading that. It doesn't work unless and until you don't understand the concepts, unless and until you don't master the topics here, it's not going to help, because Microsoft certifications are always tricky, right? So out of four options, two options will always be very much similar, and just here and there and you lose the points, right? And I personally have also taken the certifications, and I've seen that the questions are tricky, and for this you need to master the topics. So as and then for this DP 600, where we will be discussing about Fabric Analytics Engineering certification, right? And it comes under the 2-star format, that is intermediate. And for this, basically, if you're an analyst, engineer, you can apply for the certificates, and this certificate will definitely valued by most of the companies, particularly if you're looking for an analyst role or an engineer role and you're looking for a Fabric. This certification will definitely help you, and you can have this before going to any of the companies. Also, you can say that you are Microsoft Fabric Analytics certified. This certification will always give you value. Now, as and then we have the four parts, like we'll be discussing about the Fabric overview, data warehouse, and semantic model layer and the real-time intelligence. So this is a session that is lined up for today. And thanks Suparna and Ajay for choosing me as a first speaker. I'll be talking about the fabric overview. And now in this session, we'll discuss about what is this fabric and what are the main core components of fabric and what are the features that makes it unique. And that will be the agenda for today's next 1 hour. Now we'll be talking about Lakehouse, data flows, orchestrations, and my favorite is always Spark. So with that Spark, we will be able to introduce your notebook logics implementations in Fabric. So please be on mute. And before we even start, there is a small trailer for you. So let's see if you can listen this.
Santosh, you please reshare your screen with the audio.
Reshare with audio.
Stop share screening. Now, while sharing, for you, you will
Yeah,
get.
I got it. Include sound.
Hmm.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Complete AI-powered
hear the
data
audio?
platform.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you play it, please.
Microsoft Fabric. With OneLake, you get an open and AI-ready data lake for the entire organization that can connect to data from anywhere in multiple ways, so that all users are working from the same copy across analytics engines. From data integration to data engineering, data science to real-time intelligence, your data professionals have all the tools they need in a pre-integrated and optimized SaaS environment. And they can extend Fabric further with native industry-specific workloads. With the new Fabric databases, you can provision simple, autonomous, and AI-optimized databases in seconds, ready to unlock innovative new scenarios for AI transformation. For large volumes of in-motion data, you can use real-time intelligence to ingest, transform, and explore data for instant insights. And you can define criteria to trigger downstream actions. All this intelligence can then securely flow to Power BI and the Microsoft 365 applications your people use every day, informing their decision-making with insights right where and when they need data the most. And everything is backed by category-leading security, governance, and compliance capabilities. Plus, Fabric empowers your people to accelerate productivity with Copilot and built-in generative AI features. All your data, all your teams, all in one place. This is Microsoft Fabric.
Yeah. So I hope you got some idea about Fabric with a trailer video. But let me tell you an honest secret here. Even in my current project, current team, whenever is my clients are coming up for one of the projects, the first thing that I always recommend them is Fabric. So it's beautiful environment where you get all the features at one place. And we are in a world where we need everything at one place, right? That's what we prefer for. And undoubtedly, your Microsoft Fabric is one of the best in its business. And that is what we are going to explore, right? Now, when you say fabric, the meaning of fabric is like in a cloth, there is a small threads that you see it, right? That's a fabric, correct? Now, why it is called a fabric? It connects multiple threads into make one workable cloth. Exactly here, it connects with multiple tools and gets you that feature of doing everything at one place. One of the ruling cloud, Microsoft Azure, we have an orchestration tool called Data Factory. Now, Data Factory is an ETL tool, and that exact ETL tool, Data Factory, is present here. Just they have replicated, they have cloned it, and you can use it here. Now, whether you're a data scientist, data engineer, business analyst, Power BI developer, whoever you are, this environment should definitely help you for your projects. So we have Data Factory, which is an orchestration tool which can build like an ETL pipelines for you. Data engineering, we are all aware of how data engineering is in demand. We have to write complex transformations, PySpark, Spark, everything you can do here. Now comes to a data warehouse. We need a place where we can dump all the data and we can query it using SQL. Yes, we have that place. And again, whatever you do, end of the day, it always stands with data science. Predicting models, AI models, Gen AI models, and it's going MCP. Every day it's keep on adding, the technologies keep on adding. And all of this you can do it with the help of Fabric. And finally, if you're not aware, 60% of the entire world data is actually a streaming data. right? What you watch from your Netflix until the FIFA World Cup, everything is a live streaming data. And for live streaming, we also have the real-time intelligence where we can analyze the millions of records within seconds. So that is also possible. And again, the star is always a star, the king is always a king. We have the Power BI. Power BI known for its analytical features, and that is also part of our fabric. So here, data factory, data engineer, data warehouse, data science, real-time intelligence, Power BI, everything present at one place, and that place is called Microsoft Fabric. I could say this is a jungle or a forest where multiple kings are present. You can always find only one king in the jungle, but here you can find multiple kings staying together, and that is what is fabric. Now going forward, what is the main source here? How this multiple teams, you're a data scientist, you're a data engineer, you're a data analyst, where do you pick the data from? Where do you pick the data from? Now that is where there is a one lake here. Now what do you mean by one lake? It is a single source where all the data gets stored there and any team can access this data with ease. No struggling, no multiple copy activities, no multiple access related. What a life, yeah. We have been improving day by day, and we have come to a stage where in a team you will have a Power BI developers, you have a data analyst, you will have a data engineers, data scientists, and everything are getting the data from one place, right? How feasible it is for projects. It reduces most of the burden for us in pulling the data, and that is where we have one lake. It comes with the business model. We do have the storage, and in fact, since it's everything resides at one place, fabric, it comes with the security and governance, and all of these features is what we have for fabric. And this one lake is a place where you can have all the data, and you need not do multiple activities for here and there, duplicating it, copying. No, this is very helpful for us. This can solve most of our problems, correct? Now, moving on, we do have data engineers are using their activities like data factory, data warehouse, and data engineering components and real time. These are all the main components used by data engineers. So I'll give you a simple analogy, okay? Imagine fabric is like your home fridge. You have a fridge and you have vegetables, fruits, whatever you have kept there, okay? Now for that particular purpose, whatever you want to prepare, you just go and pick it from the fridge, right? Probably you will be using a bit of fruits, bit of vegetables, a bit of other things. Exactly here. For each and every team, what component they need, they will use that, right? Now coming to an analytics engineer, so they'll be using data warehouse, data engineering, Power BI. Power BI is for reporting, correct? And now data scientist. Now data scientist, what is their goal? Their goal is always going for prediction, analyzing the historical data and predicting the future, right? Now that is where we have Azure ML. So with the help of Azure ML service, it has been directly linked here. You can also go and build your ML models here. Now that's another advantage. And not only with ML, even in the latest trends, what you see, the agentic AI, agents, everything you can build with this component, correct? And as I keep saying it, Power BI for data analysts and for decision makers in case if they want to make some sort of decisions by using the reports, we also have decision makers. Now, all of this are the guys who can work under one place, right? If you are working in a team and the team has data engineers, data analysts, data scientists, and the business analysts, well, nothing to worry. We are going to work at one place, and that one place is going to be the fabric. Now, here, what are the things that you need for enabling this fabric in your organization environment? So everyone in every company, there should be like an admin. And here we have a fabric admin. And initially it was known as a Power BI admin, but now Power BI was a tool, but now it has become one of the tool in fabric. So here we have a fabric admin, Power Platform admin, Microsoft 365 admins, admin is like a captain of the team, Correct. Now we have that, and workspace also should be assigned to the premium per license. That's something which can benefit. Recently, one of my uh, student reached out to me from US, and he had a problem. They were not able to judge how much of data we are going to receive in the next 2-3 years, how much of capacity I need to have it, right? So imagine you're just coming to a place where you have a glass of water. Now you have a glass actually, but how much of water I'm going to give you? You don't know. What if I give you a liter of water? How can you store in a glass? Right? So there comes a capacity. You need to understand what is the capacity that needed for your project. Is your project capable of handling 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 10 terabyte, petabyte? How much of data you're getting? So all of this is decided with the capacity of your fabric, and it is also decided based on the licensing part. This too will help you to decide how much of capacity is needed for your project. So from the admin perspective, when you say tenant is a place where you run your projects, and for that you need to have a fabric admin, Power Platform admin, and Microsoft admin. Now moving on, here in fabric there are two type of storages that you can store your data. Okay, one is as simple as that. You can always go and store it in the file based, right, which is nothing but your data lake. You can always go and store your files, CSV files, flat files, JSON files, Parquet files, ORC files, X files, Y files, Z files. You have n number of files in your system that could always be stored, rather than storing in your personal laptop, utilizing your memory, going and buying a physical laptop. Well, come here, we can store here. That's what your Lakehouse says, right? Now your data lake says I will be able to store the data, right? And it is basically a file storage method here. Irrespective of whatever is your file size, whatever is the format of your file size, you can always store here. So basically it is used for big data technologies where we work with an organization where the data is coming in huge. Here is an option. But what if I want to go and find out something like, let's say employee data is there. I want to find out which employee is been in the company for more years. Will I go open the Excel, sort it, figure it out? I cannot do that, right? So we want to do analyze. We want to go and write some sort of query. One of the primary language which is used throughout in all the application in all the roles is SQL. So with the help of SQL, if I want to go and query the data and get the results, here it is. And that is nothing but your data warehouse, right? So in the data warehouse, whatever you have, you can also store it in the form of a table. And what that files and tables can do for you is it can convert into a table format and help you to write queries. The only way that you can communicate your database is SQL, and with the help of SQL we will be able to query all the tables, and it's a very handy for your BI developers, because you can go and do a validation testing, connect to your Power BI reports and do the reports, right? So two type of storages, one is a data lake and another is a data warehouse. So two combinations, we do have a lakehouse. Now apart from this, how does it behave here? If you can show and see this as a screen, the screenshot is a screen that you can see in the Fabric workspace where you have been created one lakehouse. Now if you open this lakehouse, in the lakehouse you can see two things. One is you have the file formats where you can simply go and see product data, sales data, customer data. But what if I want to go and query it? What if I want to go and see the data? Now that is where they have given the option like table format also. So one is a file format, one is a table format. Now file format, if you're not going to analyze or going to open and check it, keep it in a file formats. But if you want to query it, if you want to do some sort of analysis, transformations, then we can always go and see that in the table format. So the option is yours. You want, say I'm giving you water. You either boil it and drink or you cool it and drink. It's your wish. As simple as that, right? So I am giving you a place where either you want to see it in a table or you want to see in a file. It's up to you. Now that is exactly what happens with Lakehouse. In Lakehouse, again, we will have a both file storage as well as the table storage. But apart from this, there is also querying option, which I was talking about it, right? So we can go and query it. It's as simple as your SQL code, and here is what you will get results. And this results, it could be all the functions of your SQLs, everything you can use. You can typically call this as a SQL table, SQL database. That is how it is. Okay. Forget about where it is, but you will get all the features of a normal database. Everything you'll get it here, because end of the day, it's a warehouse. Now, here, apart from this, we do have how can we load the data into your Lakehouse. So Lakehouse is a place where we can store the data. Now, how are we going to load the data? We have more than 100 connectors where we can go and load the data. And for that, we need one injecting layer, right? One injecting layer, and that injecting layer is nothing but extraction layer. That extraction, you can have a notebooks, you can have a data flows, we can have a pipelines, and we have something called shortcuts. Now shortcuts is like a reference. The data is present somewhere in the other cloud. I don't want to bring all the things and keep it here, but I can use it like a reference. I can use it like a reference. Now again, pipeline. The pipeline is always as simple as like your house pipeline. You pour the water at one side, you'll get the water at the other side. So as simple as that. Connecting dots is nothing but your pipelines. And data flows. Data flow is like your Power Query transformations. Without much of coding, you can start doing your append, merge, text transformations, number transformations, date transformations, addition of columns, derived columns, data type changes. I can keep on telling this 100 steps. That many things we have in data flow. And yeah, initially it was Gen 1, but as the generation changes, these guys also have changed the generation. Now Gen 2, I've been using this widely in most of the projects, and I can see a lot of features that we have in the Gen 2. And notebooks is always going to be your core, because any transformations, any type of logic, you can write it which is in your control. I always believe something which is in our control performs well, and that is nothing but notebooks. You can write your complex transformation, Spark transformation, Python logic, and you can still get the data into your Lakehouse. You have a tank in your house, and for that you need to get the water, right? Then only you can use it. How do you get it? That is a problem here, and for that only we have the solution, and the solution is notebooks, data flows, pipelines, and shortcuts. Now we will explore here. With the help of transformation, we have the notebooks where we can write the Spark jobs, right? And we can also write your SQL queries, data flows, and followed by we can go and have a copy activity pipeline. So all these are the techniques which we can use it to bring the data. And once the data is brought, it's all yours. You can go and connect your Power BI for reporting. Let's see how we can inject the data with Dataflow Gen 2. You secret here. The guys who are very good at Power BI, this should be your golden egg. This should be a golden egg, because this comes with a codeless transformation, and you can see most of them will be like append, merge, getting data, then joining, then again going and doing the text transformations, number transformations. So all of this, it becomes much easier. And as I said, it's a low code, right? And you can extract the data from multiple sources, and you can run the data flows independently. You need not have any pipeline. You can run it directly also. But as a best practice, we always have a process, but you can debug, you can use it for your testing purpose, you can use it for your small projects. So data flow comes with a codeless transformations, or we can call it as a very, very little a code here, and that also will be like most of the things will be like drag and drop and do some sort of features, all this. Okay, so this is one of the go-to tool for the guys who are looking for no much of coding.
Santosh,
And
I got a question here.
yeah, please go ahead.
Is this part of Azure Data Factory, this data flow?
See, Azure Data Factory has a different data flow which does the transformations on Azure environment. The same name they've kept here, but Here the features are different. In Dataflow, what happens in Azure Dataflow, we used to have like SSIS UI, like we used to put a plus mark, join it, then it's like an old way of adding components. Here it is like a Power Query view. So this is a much better, I would say, but both are same names, same features. The way of doing is different. There is a UI is different. Here the UI is different.
So the Azure Dataflow is available only within Fabric?
No, Azure Dataflow is available in Azure also. In Fabric, the data flow we have, it's called Fabric Data Flow, and there they have a classification of Gen 1 and Gen 2. See, data flow means just think that it is a codeless transformation. Okay, just think like it's a codeless transformation. But where you do, are you doing it in Fabric? Are you doing it in Azure? That is what you need to understand. Please be on mute. Yeah. Now let's move forward. In the data flow Gen 2, if you see, you can have all of this codeless transformations. You can use it like drag and drop everything. But as we know that it doesn't create most of the complex transformations will not be able to do. That is one of the limitation, and some sort of row level security, and you need a license workspace for that. So all this becomes like some of the limitations. But again, no tool is perfect. No component is perfect. You'll always have to sync between what is good for us and what we can afford to miss it in the limitation. So that is nothing but a data flow. Now, coming to this, this is the option which we were talking about, Power Query ribbon, and you can see the marking like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can have a Power Query ribbon, query pan, diagram view, data preview. So to answer the previous question about the data flow, right here the data flow gives you like a power view, like it's a Power BI's Power Query view, but in Azure we have a different one. Now here we can see all these options, remove columns, row columns in that. But maybe if you're talking on Azure, it was a different way of doing it, right? So we have all this components, and then if you want to copy the data, we will be integrating data flow and pipelines, and we can also schedule it. We can schedule it at a specific time, and we can also call the data flow in the pipeline. So let's say, for example, my data flow has to run at every day 6 o'clock. Then I cannot run it only data flow. I will have to put into a scheduler. This pipeline will help me in scheduling it, correct? So it will incorporate data flow, add notebooks. All of this we could be able, because data flow is very easy. We can easily integrate with any of the other component. Now, with that, we'll see about orchestration. The word orchestration is like a basic word for data engineers. Always they'll use the word orchestration, orchestration, orchestration. What is this orchestration? Orchestration is a process where right from one place to other place, the data or the entire pipeline runs very smoothly, right? I'll tell you. You would have seen in most of the reels or most of your craft things, they'll simply drop a ball from top. Now it goes to multiple steps, multiple boxes, come out, go in, go out, flows through the tunnel, comes back again, slopes it down, and finally reach the target. That is the best example of orchestration. You switch on the main switch, everything automatically goes without any flow difference, right? Without any disturbance. That is what is orchestration. And that orchestration, we could easily do it with the help of pipelines. Now, pipelines is basically like a flow, one after the other. I will run this, post that, I'll run that, I'll run this, I'll run that. What happens if it fails? What happens if it falls, if it passes? So all of this could be handled within the pipeline. With the pipelines, you can add multiple activities, data flows. You can also add your transformations, notebooks, everything you can add it. And that's the beauty of this. And the good thing is it can also be parameterized for every project, every use case, every day. Do you think I'm going to build a pipeline? Definitely no. We could use some sort of parameters. Parameters is by sending the date, by sending the project name, by sending the module name, we can easily run our pipelines. So pipeline becomes your main component here. Without pipeline, it's very difficult to run your project. So pipelines is a key here. And that is why I said it's an orchestration. In the orchestration, I'll always say chest. How important is your chest to your body, right? That is exactly what it means in your orchestration. You need to have this for a smooth running of your pipelines. Now, talking about the activities, some of the common activities, you can use a copy tool activity where we can go and just give the source and destination. Very simple here, very simple. Copy activity, you can get the data from anywhere to anywhere, right? You can, but most preferably we'll be getting from anywhere to Fabric. Because we are talking about Fabric, we need to respect the tool, we need to respect the environment. So anywhere we can get it to our system. And that is the first step. If you want to do some work, if you want to do projects, you will have to get the data from different teams to your Fabric, and that is what is done by copy, right? Now, also in this AI world, our Microsoft is making our work easier and easier. So they have given some templates also. You need not even go and drag and drop here. We can go and use the templates. Okay, there are user templates. You want to get the data from files, you want to get the data from ADLS, you want to get the data from warehouse, you want to get the data from bulk copy, everything template is there, and you just need to go and use a template, right? Now, you can see here for a pipeline, you have three things here. You can validate, you can run, you can schedule, and you can see the history. So this comes under monitoring pipeline, right? So you know a plumber, right? What does he do? He builds the pipeline and then he goes out. But what you'll do after 1 year, you'll call him back. Why? Hey, check if the pipeline is any damaged, if the pipeline is having any hole. You'll ask them, right? That's a monitor. It's monitoring the pipeline. So not only running the pipeline, we also have the features where we can completely monitor the pipeline activities. Now, coming to my favorite, which is Spark. I like this name because it always creates a spark in your career. The Spark is one of the framework which is used for most widely used in every project for data processing. If you have this one word in your resume, just simply go and add this one word in your resume. You'll see the difference. Every company, right from a startup to a billion-dollar company, every company is now evolving and they have started using Spark. So Spark is one of the on-memory computational processing framework. You can process the data very fastly. There is no other framework has come till now which can beat the speed of Spark. SQL is there, that's a different, but we are talking about processing here. For processing Spark, right? We can process it as fast as possible. And that's why it's always on top as of now. No other competitor for this. And for this, it is a large scale data analytics as well as engineering, and it provides a Spark clusters and which will enable to analyze and the process data at scale. What do you mean by at scale? Like if the data is increasing, the Spark clusters also could be increased and we could do the processing faster, right? So if you really want to get into a high paying job, apart from the certification session, I'm telling you, master this because company needs a Spark specialist. I myself am hiring a Spark specialist. We need them because those guys know how to process the data at scale, at fast. So this is one of the framework which you can put it into your bucket list. Now, how do we use this? In fact, if I want to give a fair idea about how it works, the data will be divided into multiple systems. Each system does their own work. Finally, I'll be collecting and I'll be giving. Imagine I myself taking 4 hours of session. How does it work? 4 hours continuously. Don't you think I'm overloaded? So that's why we will divide the task among our 4 people and then we can perform better. So that's where the Spark uses the background. The data and the processing happens individually in each and every node and then it will be collected together. And for that, this is one of the fastest way of processing it. And how do we run this? So we do have a notebook and we can define a Spark definition jobs. So we can do this. So with the 2 ways, you can see as a preview, but in the recent times, They made it public also. So now we can easily go and write our Spark code here. So we can directly open the notebook, and this is a notebook, an interactive environment for coding. So this gives you like if you guys have used a Jupyter notebook, this exactly looks like that, right? If you have used a Databricks, this exactly looks like that. You'll be getting a 2-line code, and then you'll be writing it, and you'll have a run option again. You will get another line. Again you'll get another line. Again you'll get another line, and there is a run option. We can also go and schedule it. Everything you can do. Everything you can do here. So this is how we will be writing the Spark code. Now, and you can also upload some files also, Python files you can upload if you have already taken some sort of on-premises code. If you want to go and dump that into your cloud, we can do that. Upload option is there, reference option is there. So all of this we can use it. Now, in SQL, we have something called table format, right? We have a table. We call it as a table. But in particularly in Python or PySpark, if you say, we will call it as a data frame. So what is a data frame? A data frame is a two-dimensional data storage where it will be stored like a table format. So with this, we can do analysis. And always remember, anything which is there in the table format, you can analyze it faster. Anything which is in the table format, we can analyze faster. So that's where this data, the data which you see here, files, data, and product. This product CSV, see here, we can put it in a table format. Now you go and do slicing, dicing, filtering, column, again group by, window function. Do whatever the hell you want here, but do it on the data frame. Do it on the data frame. That is exactly the feature given to us. We can do all the analysis directly. I cannot go and change the file, right? Directly I need to open the product file. I need to go and change it. Is that possible? Definitely no, right? And that's why I can do it here by loading that into a data frame. So by doing that into a data frame, you will get that table view, and that table view after doing transformations, right? So probably I will convert the list price, or maybe I'll calculate the sales, cost, profit. Then you can load it back into either a file format, or you can put it into a table format. That's what I keep saying, right? I'll give you water. It's your wish. You want to boil it and drink, or you want to cool it and drink. It's your wish. So I will give you in file format. I will give you in a table formats. What your business needs, take that. Correct. Now this is about loading it, and you can see like some sort of transformations you can do. You can create your own structure. All of this you can do. If you really want to select a selected columns, or if you want to do some sort of calculations, all is yours. Correct. Now filter, sort, functions, logics, everything you can do. In fact, if you want to aggregate it, if you want to have a concatenation method, if you want to get multiple calculations, we can do it. Again, group by and aggregation. For this, one thing that you need to remember is you need to learn PySpark coding. That is mandatory. What you want to do to pull the data from SQL, you need to learn SQL, right? SQL database, you need to learn SQL. For Spark, we will have to learn something called PySpark. Remember this, Spark, PySpark. So PySpark coding, if you write it, you can directly go and write the logic and get it. So all the syntax is like a PySpark. Now moving on, here you can see you can save the data frame for further use, and that's what I said. You can store it as a file. Parquet is the most preferable file, which becomes easy for the other people to read it well. So it's a file which becomes easier for reading. But apart from that, Parquet, you can store it as CSV, flat files, Excel files, WordC files. If you want in a table format, that is also allowed, right? So that we are doing here. Then,
Santosh, I've got a question.
yeah,
Does this support full PySpark and Scala?
yes, it supports.
And
It
also,
is.
does it support the same Delta live tables like
Yes, Delta
Databricks?
Live Table, it's not yet fully in operational, but they are trying to implement in the next 3 to 4 months. That's an update I've got from the Microsoft, but it's still not fully functional like a Databricks. Databricks has taken years to build that brand. Now these guys are improving. So as of now, the format of Delta tables is still yet to come.
Okay. And also in terms of transformations, is there support for DBT here?
DBT here, no, not it.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll be able to transform and then we'll be able to load it. Now the question comes is, see, I have a project which we are maintaining from 2010 to 2026. 16 years of data. Listen, okay? 16 years of data. Each year, let's say we have 1 million of records. So 16 years, we have 16 million records. Now, if I ask you to go and search in the 16 million records, tell me what was the transaction that happened on 2013, March 12th. If I go and ask what will happen, literally it will go and search in all the 16 years of data. It go and searches in 16 million records. This is too much. I just want one data. For getting one data, why am I going and searching in 16 million records? So that's why, I will create 16 buckets. You can call it as a 16 files. Each file I'll maintain 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now what I want? I just need 2013 data. Simply go and search only in this file. You'll be maximum searching in 1 million only. I know that which year I'm going to take the data. Now that becomes your partitioning. So partition is one of the way to improve your performance either while writing as well as reading. Writing, yes, it's a one-time step. Reading, it becomes much easier. So that way we can partition. Usually the preferred one, the most widely used is always year. Depending on the year, we'll be partitioning. But apart from that, we can do a lot of other ways of partitioning. More than one column, two columns, everything is possible, right? Now, if you see here, we can also use your Spark SQL. Okay, so what we can do, we can save this as a table. We can save this as a table and we can use it. But this is not yet fully functional. Okay, not yet fully functional. Like whatever that we have in our normal data bricks, right? That is not fully there, but it's okay. It's still workable. But again, as I keep saying it, they are improving over time and we can see a lot of features that is getting added on in the coming quarters. But this way we can also write the SQL code. We can also create a temporary view. And by creating this, what happens, select star from product underscore view. If you do this, you'll be able to query the product view. You are doing it here only. Rather than going and doing it in a SQL, you can do it here only. It will still give you the data, right? So that is with respect to Spark SQL. Now, apart from that, you can also write your own logics here. Whatever you want, you can write the logic here. That's why I keep saying it. PySpark is must here, right? And we can use your SQL APIs. We can also write a normal SQL queries, native SQL queries. That is also possible. And you can also visualize this notebook, right? You can also visualize this notebook. You can go and say that instead of table, you can see the chart. You need not go and even bring it to Power BI. You can see here only. You have the data, you have written the code. You can also view the data here itself. That's even more an advantage for us, right? We can visualize it, right? And that is one way by using the built-in notebook charts. And another is like you can always use some sort of matplotlib, Seaborn. You can this. Another way is we always have the king with us. Who is that king? Power BI. You can put this into a table format and then you can go and load it. But the default methods either use a built-in notebooks or you can use a graphical packages. That is nothing but your Python packages. So like this, we can visualize the data. Now, in our session today, we were able to understand the complete overview. Data science, data engineers, data analysts, business developers, if I want to suggest them one playground to play for their games, I would prefer Fabric. Fabric is a playground where anyone can come and play their own game on their own pitch. That is what it is. And with that, we have discussed about data flows, pipelines, activities, and then we also focused on Spark, specifically writing the logic in Spark. Now, with this, you should be able to get a complete overview of our Fabric environment. Now, we will have a subsequent sessions on each topic, but my prime suggestion for you, start focusing on the concepts rather than dumps. By only reading dumps, it's not going to help you. For a certification, start focusing on dumps. I'll give you one a normal scenario that happened in my project. A guy joined my team, with 7 certifications in his bucket. He's saying I did PL 300, I did AZ 900. He's saying DP 600, DP 700, DP 800. He told me 7 certifications. And I asked him what is the difference between all this. He was not able to answer. He was not able to answer. Then for what reason you are collecting the certificates? So certificates is for entry to your company, but the knowledge that you're going to learn to get that certificate is important. Don't blindly go with dumps. Doesn't work in real time. Understand the concepts, master the knowledge, and then go for the exams. You need not even read the dumps. You can directly go and learn, right? So with that, coming to end of our first session, and we can open for questions.
Santosh, there is a question in the YouTube live. Someone is asking Chetan. So he's asking like, what is the difference between database, data warehouse, SQL Server, and MySQL?
Okay. See, data warehouse is a collection of your tables, and it is not used for live transaction. It is used for analytical transaction. Probably I'll be using a reporting where I need last 15 years of data, 10 years of data. Now that's a data warehouse, collection of tables which tracks historical records. Now what is a live database? Live database is like basically capturing your live data. You go to an ATM, you go to a transaction, and immediately your bank should affect that record. It works 24/7 even in the untime, right? So that is what database is. So database stands for OLTP, transaction, online transactional processing. So data warehouse is for online analytical processing. Now in the database, right, we have different versions. SQL Server is one database, MySQL is one database, Postgres is one database. So like this, we do have different databases.
Yeah, thank you, Santosh. So is anyone having any questions in the current session?
Okay, thanks. So I think Mohan, yeah, you can go, please.
Yeah, I had a more fundamental question. What is the difference between Fabric and Azure? It's a bit confusing. I think Fabric is built on top of Azure. So what is it basically a subset of Azure services that what is Fabric?
Say, I'll give you a very simple example. You go to a restaurant, you will find 200 items on your item, that is menu bar. That is Azure, right? You'll get everything. If I open an Azure portal, you can build a website, you can build a mobile application, you can use it for engineering, you can use it for analytics, you can use it for n number of purpose. That's an Azure, right? But if I want to eat only ice creams, why will I go to a big restaurant with